Nokia is on the roll in reviving their classic line of phones for the sake of nostalgia every year. And here, we have the new Nokia 2720, featuring a sleek and modern look and a fresh OS that dominated the feature phone market. Will the new Nokia 2720 capture the hearts of flip phone lovers? Let's find out here in our review. I was really excited for this phone to be launched in the Philippines and have looked everywhere just to get my hands onto one. It took me 3 whole months to hunt for this phone, as online sellers haven't listed it on their sites until this December. Physical stores are even worse, telling me that they have no information about the phone's launch, but luckily, it's finally here. I didn't get my hopes up after the terrible experience I had with KaiOS on the Nokia 8110 4G last year, but to my surprise, it did improve a lot. Before anything else, here's a quick spec sheet for the device. Specs are just the same with the Nokia 8110 4G, only with a slightly larger screen on the inside and a smaller one for the outside. You also get a different form factor this time, from a sliding mechanism down to a flip one that we all know and love from the past Nokia devices. One thing I love is that small screen in the front when the phone is closed. It's small enough to show the time and notifications, although I wish they opt for an OLED screen for this one, but that's asking too much. We get a micro USB port, which is pretty normal for a feature phone, a headset jack, an emergency or Google Assistant button, and a volume rocker. The Google Assistant button is a welcome addition that made the device in line with Nokia's latest Android offerings, which also had the same button. But first, we're going to focus in this review the OS itself, KaiOS. Let's see if it received massive improvements from its half-baked nature that came with the Nokia 8110 4G last year. When I first used it, the OS was more responsive, have faster animations, and also new colorful icons which contrast to the black and white one from the older version. Everything was buttery smooth at some times, although not perfect, with some minor stutters here and there, especially when using certain apps. KaiOS is reliant on HTML5 web apps, so keep in mind that your favorite Java apps and games from older Nokia phones will not work here. There are some apps and games that are well made, nice UI, flexible animations, and there are also others that looks a bit underwhelming, so to speak. Google's apps such as Maps and Assistant work pretty well without problems, and you can see the effort they've done to make it look feature phone friendly. YouTube, on the other hand, is basically a web app that's squeezed into the tiny screen. But one thing I find it useful is the integrated Google Assistant for the YouTube app. It works as it should, and it recognizes every word I speak, even though I have a fake English accent. Tomb Raider. Four of Spades. Yes, hello 911. Next, we have the KaiOS store. I remember the days where the store had a total of 7 apps available and looks like a barren wasteland. But things have started to change now. It looks like more and more developers are convinced about KaiOS capabilities. Even big names such as UC Browser, Sender, and even ShareIt is also available on the store as well. Not to mention WhatsApp, which is the most requested app that has been recently launched this year on the platform. I can see a lot of potential in the KaiOS store. Maybe several months from now, we can see Instagram, Uber, and Spotify making its way on the platform as well. But that remains to be seen. Let's hope for the best. HMD is proud with the Nokia 2720's large buttons. It even shows on the back of the box as if it's a feature. I guess they really learned from their mistakes, because last year's 8110 has a very small keypad, making typing very inconvenient. One thing I like about this device is the speaker. It's pretty loud enough and had a decent amount of noise. Just don't blast the volume all the way through, as it tends to get scratchy to listen at. The camera interface is pretty basic. Its settings are very simplified. But what do you expect? It's a feature phone. Speaking of cameras, quality is just decent enough, and I'm sure people don't buy this phone for its camera prowess. Here are some sample shots. Call quality is also surprisingly good. I was able to receive HD calls from my friends that uses HD calling supported SIMs. Wi-Fi speed is also on par with smartphones, and its 4G hotspot internet sharing capability works as it should be. The phone heats a little when using it as a Wi-Fi hotspot though, and the OS will become sluggish for a bit. The new shortcut key is a welcome addition too. It's your one click away from your favorite app. It's also customizable, so you can choose whatever app you want for the shortcut key. At first, I thought it was a multitasking button, but that feature isn't available on this OS, or maybe in future updates it will be. In terms of battery, the phone can last for a day and a half for extreme heavy usage, 3 days at most for moderate usage, and 5 to 6 days for very light usage. The new Nokia 2720 retails at a price of 4,790 pesos in the Philippines, which is a bit costly for a feature phone. At that price, you can get a decent low-spec Android smartphone from other brands that offers more. So, should you buy this phone? Go ahead for the sake of nostalgia and if you want to test what KaiOS has to offer. It's also ideal as a backup phone as well. But if you're more of an appy type of person that does a lot of social media, for a price tag like that, you might as well get a smartphone instead. Yes, we get it. This phone is not for everyone, and it all depends on the user's needs. And that's it for our Nokia 2720 review. Feel free to leave a comment below and let us hear your opinions about the phone. Thanks for watching.